That perspective is so refreshing. As someone who obsesses over the fact that I am on a daily basis terrified of my comments, I'm terrified of my DMs. I don't want to be triggered. I don't want to care. I don't want to look. But you're right. If you're going to talk shit and run your mouth, please do it.
There are diss tracks on Brat, and I just wanted to come on here and clarify that there aren't, apart from maybe Von Dutch, which kind of is, but the other tracks in question aren't diss tracks. They're really just about how it's so complicated being an artist, especially a female artist, where you are pitted against your peers but also expected to.
Something strange is happening in the pop world, and it's not just about music anymore, it's about control, perception, and how a single lyric can rearrange the hierarchy of fame. When Taylor Swift dropped The Life of a Showgirl, fans expected glitter, sequins, and heartbreak turned to art. But buried beneath the sparkle was a ticking bomb, a track called Opalite that would ignite a storm, dragging Charli XCX and Kayla Nicole straight into its eye. It started innocently enough, Taylor's lyrics, poetic and piercing as always. You couldn't understand it, why you felt alone, you were in it for real, she was in her phone, and you were just a pose. But Swifties, masters of digital archaeology, quickly tied those lines to an old clip of Travis Kelce snapping at his ex, Kayla Nicole, for being on her phone too much.
I love it here. Sometimes someone would pay me attention. I wouldn't have to go on social media. I wouldn't have to get on social media and seek validation from a bunch of strangers on the internet.
Suddenly, what seemed like a metaphor turned into a reenactment. People swore Taylor was singing about a relationship she never lived, borrowing someone else's heartbreak to shape her story. And the internet, always hungry for drama, crowned it a lyrical dig, a quiet humiliation wrapped in melody. But what if it wasn't about pettiness? What if it was about narrative theft, Taylor reclaiming every version of the man she loves by rewriting his history, one ex at a time? Kayla Nicole wasn't about to play the victim in someone else's fairy tale. She didn't post a rant or go live with receipts, she knew better. Instead, she posted like a strategist. A few hours after Opalite dropped, she uploaded a serene video.
Opalite is about Kayla Nicole, Travis's ex-girlfriend. The opal is Travis's birthstone. You couldn't understand it. Why you left alone? You were in it for real. She was on her phone. You were just a pose. These lines paint a picture of a couple sitting across from each other. One fully present, the other distracted on their phone. It lines up perfectly with the real video of Travis Kelce telling Kayla to get off her phone. Taylor witnessed the aftermath. You finally left the table. And what a simple thought. You're starving till you're not. That's Travis walking away, realizing he was done waiting for someone to look up. Before The Life of the Showgirl dropped, Travis Kelce said Opalite was his favorite song on the album. He said that knowing the song might hold a piece of his past. That's the kind of irony only Taylor Swift can orchestrate.
Charli XCX has officially entered the chat. Last night, she liked the post that was making fun of Taylor Swift for apparently showing off her engagement ring. So at first, I thought this could be edited, so I actually went on this user's post to confirm that Charli had actually liked the post, and I do see her like on there. To promote The Life of a Showgirl, Taylor has been going on a lot of talk shows and radio interviews where the hosts are obviously asking her about the wedding and also the ring. And she's obviously showing it to them, especially since most have asked to see the ring. But also, if I were Taylor, I would also be showing off my ring at any given opportunity. Like, even if people didn't ask me. This Taylor and Charli feud definitely didn't start with sympathy is a knife, and it definitely isn't ending with actually romantic.
Sipping wine under soft lighting, captioned, "Don't compare your journey to anyone else's." It looked peaceful, but to her followers, it read like a warning shot. Then she doubled down with a quote, "When God gives you the ball, ball." Subtle, spiritual, and defiant. It was her way of saying she saw the shade but chose grace, a power move disguised as calm. But the irony was painful. Taylor's own boyfriend, Travis Kelce, publicly named Opalite as his favorite song. Imagine that. The same track that possibly referenced his ex became his anthem. Fans called it loyalty, others called it blindness. But some of us saw something else, proof that Taylor had done what she always does best. Turn her relationships into stories where she always wins, and everyone else becomes a character in her emotional screenplay. And when the ex refuses to stay quiet, she becomes the villain in the sequel. Then came Charli XCX, and the narrative exploded into chaos. Charli didn't even have to speak. One alleged like was enough to detonate weeks of online warfare. She'd supposedly interacted with a meme mocking Travis's dating history, a post that said Taylor had turned him white, referencing the fact that he mostly dated black women before her. Screenshots spread like wildfire. Some said Charli was being racist. Others claimed the meme was mocking racism itself. Either way, the timing was nuclear. Charli was already under the microscope because of her own history with Taylor, and this was the spark that reignited it all. People went back to 2015 when Taylor brought Charli on stage during the 1989 World Tour, smiling under flashing lights. They remembered 2018 when Charli opened for Reputation, performing to stadiums full of Swifties. But then came the infamous 2019 interview where Charli said performing for Taylor's fans felt like waving to 5-year-olds. That sentence, once just shade, had aged into prophecy, a line that now defined the entire feud. By 2024, Charli had evolved into the face of an underground pop revolution, the Brat era. It was raw, self-aware, messy in the most deliberate way.
Yeah, I mean, I welcome the chaos. The rule of show business is if it's the first week of my album release and you are saying either my name or my album title, you're helping. And art, I have a lot of respect for people's subjective opinions on art. I'm not the art police. It's like everybody is allowed to feel exactly how they want, and what our goal is as entertainers is to be a mirror. Oftentimes an album is a really, really wild way to look at yourself, right? What you're going through in your life is going to affect whether you relate to the music that I'm putting out at any given moment. And what I often love seeing my fans say is, I used to be someone who didn't relate to Reputation, and now that I've been through some other things in my life, that's my favorite album. Or I used to be a fearless girly, now I'm obsessed with Evermore. And we're doing this thing for keeps. I have such an eye on legacy when I'm making my music. I know what I made. I know I adore it. And I know that on the theme of what the showgirl is, all of this is part of it.
And at its center was the song Sympathy is a Knife, a track about feminine insecurity and quiet jealousy that fans swore was about Taylor. Don't want to see her backstage at my boyfriend's show. Fingers crossed behind my back. I hope they break up quick. The lyrics felt too specific to ignore. Both women were entangled in the 1975 universe, Taylor briefly with Maddie Healy, Charli long-term with drummer George Daniel. They'd crossed paths in green rooms, at parties, in the gossip of men who play guitars for a living. It wasn't just jealousy, it was proximity. Charli later denied it was a diss, saying she was exploring how women are pitted against each other, but the internet wasn't buying it. Because when a woman denies throwing shade, it only convinces people she's aiming better. And that's when Taylor struck back. Actually, romantic landed like a blade disguised as a poem. I heard you call me boring, Barbie, when the cokes got you brave. High-fived my ex and said you're glad he ghosted me. Fans didn't need confirmation. The parallels were too clean. Taylor wasn't hiding her message. She was archiving it in melody. Then she called it a love letter to someone who hates you. That's classic Swift psychology. Kill them with charm, bury them in subtext. She doesn't name her enemies, she immortalizes them. And when she smiles and says, I welcome the chaos, it's not humility, it's hunger, because she knows chaos keeps her relevant. It's not that she courts controversy, she crafts it. She invites it, then choreographs her response like a magician controlling a storm she pretends to survive. Meanwhile, Charli leaned into the noise. She posted a studio clip with a heart emoji, no context, no sound, no words. It was the kind of move Taylor herself would make. Fans went feral. Was she cooking up a diss track? A sequel to Brat? A sonic rebuttal to Taylor's perfectly coiffed revenge? Charli didn't confirm or deny. She didn't have to. In 2025, silence is strategy. Every blank space becomes a playground for speculation. By saying nothing, Charli said everything. It was delicious irony, Taylor, the master of coded storytelling, was now the subject of someone else's. For once, she wasn't writing the narrative, she was trapped inside it. But under all this pop drama lies something darker, the intersection of race, power, and image. Kayla Nicole's quiet dignity became a mirror that forced people to confront what they didn't want to admit, that a white superstar could rewrite a black woman's heartbreak and turn it into a chart topper. the same society that labeled Kayla too loud or attention-seeking when she spoke out now called Taylor genius for referencing the same dynamic in a song. And when Charli, another woman in the industry, was accused of liking a racially charged post, it exposed how fragile and performative allyship in pop music can be. Everyone wants to seem progressive, but behind the curtains, the old hierarchies still hum. Then Taylor doubled down with the interview heard around the internet. On Apple Music with Zane Lowe, she said she welcomes chaos and that any mention of her name helps her legacy. If it's the first week of my album release and you're saying my name or the album title, she said, you're helping. It was pure self-awareness, a masterclass in emotional judo. She took every punch thrown at her and turned it into applause. She made the feud her marketing plan. And when she said, I'm not the art police, everyone's entitled to their opinion, it felt like a taunt to Charli, to Kayla, to everyone who thought they could win by calling her out. Because Taylor knows that in her universe, every critic becomes content, every rival becomes a lyric, and every feud feeds the myth. Kayla, meanwhile, found her rhythm in silence. Her posts became devotional, her tone unbothered. She was calm, glowing, focused on peace. But that calmness wasn't weakness. It was her superpower. Every time she refused to engage, she disrupted the expectation that women must fight to be heard. She didn't need to drop a diss track, her restraint became her statement. Yet, ironically, her stillness made the World Project noise onto her. Every post was analyzed for hidden meaning. Every outfit decoded like a subliminal message. Even when she chose serenity, the internet wrote her script for her. And maybe that's the saddest part of celebrity: you can escape a man, but not the story the world writes about you. Charli's fans, the self-proclaimed brat soldiers, fought dirty. They wore shirts mocking Swifties, posted memes, started trends. Some even crossed into harassment. And that's when the feud stopped being fun. It stopped being campy and started feeling dangerous. But in the chaos, Charli stayed quiet. Maybe she was planning her next move. Maybe she realized that the internet's appetite for outrage will always outpace the truth. Or maybe she understood that silence, at its peak, is louder than any song. Because as much as Taylor mastered the art of the coded jab, Charli has mastered the art of pretending not to care, while everyone else burns trying to interpret her. By now, the whole situation feels less like a feud and more like a mirror of how fame works. Taylor Swift doesn't just write songs, she writes history. Charli XCX doesn't just make music, she disrupts systems. Nicole doesn't just exist in the background, she exposes how fragile those systems are. Together, these three women created a narrative none of them could control, yet all of them benefit from. Taylor gets streams, Charli gets clout, Kayla gets empathy. It's a symbiotic chaos that feeds itself the cycle of fame, fueled by speculation and survival. So, when people ask if Charli XCX and Nicole responded to Taylor Swift's diss, the truth is yes, but not how you think. They responded with restraint, with timing, with silence that screams louder than any bridge or chorus. Taylor may have written the rules of the game, but now she's surrounded by players who understand them just as well. The real twist? None of them are enemies. They're reflections of the same struggle, women trying to survive in an industry that teaches them that attention equals existence. Every lyric, every like, every caption, all part of the same theater. And while fans argue over who's right or wrong, Taylor, Charli, and Kayla are all doing the same thing, turning chaos into currency. In the end, that's what pop has become, not just music, but mythology. And every myth needs its villains, its victims, and its heroes. The only question left is, which one of them do you believe? But maybe the biggest twist of all is that this isn't really about Taylor, Charli, or Kayla, it's about us, the audience. The spectators who mistake parasocial drama for connection, who refresh timelines like detectives piecing together a case that doesn't exist. Every like, every cryptic lyric, every suspicious glance caught by paparazzi, it's bait we can't resist. These women know it too. They've learned that the most powerful move in fame isn't honesty or even talent, it's mystery. Taylor drops a lyric and disappears. Charli posts a clip with no sound. Kayla uploads a quote with no caption. And we, the watchers, give those silences meaning. Maybe that's the genius of it all, that the real performance isn't happening on stage, but online, in real time, through us. Because every comment, every share, every theory turns the drama into currency. And while we argue about who's clapping back, the truth is none of them ever stopped performing. They just changed the stage. And as long as we keep watching, they'll keep feeding the story until we realize the biggest showgirl of all might not be Taylor Swift. It might be the culture she created around her.